Inventory management. Inventory refers to all the goods that a manufacturing firm holds in order to produce its final product. So now there are primarily three types of inventory. These three types of inventory represent the different stages at which a good is held in a manufacturing firm. So the three types of inventory are finished goods inventory, work in progress inventory, and raw material inventory. Finished goods inventory will consist of all the goods whose production process is complete and they're ready for sale. Work in progress inventory will consist of all the goods which are still undergoing the production process and they are yet to be completed as a final product. So they're basically in the semi-finished stage. And raw material inventory will consist of all those basic goods that are required in order to produce the finished product. So if we take an example of a bread baking industry, then the raw material here would be flour. So the raw material inventory will be carrying flour. Work in progress will be the dough form, and the finished good will be the inventory carrying loaves of bread. Now there are three types of costs, inventory cost. They are ordering cost, carrying cost, shortage or stock out, or cost of replenishment. So when we look at ordering cost will include all those costs incurred by a firm in order to get the products required for the production process. So the cost that will be included in ordering cost will be procurement cost and inbound logistic cost, which can include the transportation cost incurred in order to bring the product to the firm. So two factors which have to be taken into consideration while taking ordering cost will be ordering in excess quantities and ordering in quantities less than the demanded quantity. So when orders are placed in excess, firms will tend to stock up the goods that are ordered in excess. This in turn will increase the carrying cost of the firm. Similarly, when orders are placed less than what is at demand, then we will tend to place more orders in order to meet the demand, thereby increasing the ordering cost and the shortage cost. Next, we look at carrying cost. Carrying cost again will primarily include two costs, inventory storage cost and cost of capital. Inventory storage cost will include all the costs incurred by a firm in order to store the goods that are acquired. So that we take into consideration the rent that is paid for the building in which the goods are stored and also the costs incurred for maintaining that facility in the way it is supposed to. In case the goods have to be air conditioned, then the cost incurred for air conditioning, etc. And certain goods have to be handled in a specific manner with specific equipments. Then the firm will be incurring material handling costs as well. Then we look at cost of capital. Cost of capital will include cost of investments, which might be investment made on the goods itself or the facility at which the goods are stored, the interest that is being paid on the working capital, and the cost of insurance for the building or for the goods that are held at storage. So these two costs are relevant when the inventory is held by the manufacturing firm itself. But in recent times, most of the firms have started to outsource their inventory carrying, and hence costs that will be incurred in cases of outsourcing their inventory would be the amount that is paid in order to hold the inventory in external warehouses, or the amount that is paid to third party vendors for the service that they provide by holding the inventory. And the third inventory cost that we're looking at is shortage or stock out or cost of replenishment. So when orders are less and we've run out of the goods that are required for the production process to complete, then there is loss of income, because when we have an order, then we are not able to render the final product because there's shortage of material, or the cost that you will be incurring because the production has been stopped or there is a delay in production because of shortage of inventory. So looking at the two inventory costs, we get to economic order quantity. Now, what is economic order quantity? So we looked at all the costs that we incur by holding inventory. So now our main aim is to reduce the ordering cost and carrying cost so as to reduce the total inventory costs that the manufacturing firm incurs. And in order to be able to reduce this total inventory cost, we will have to arrive at an optimal order quantity, by which when orders are placed at this quantity, then the firm will incur minimal ordering costs and carrying cost. So economic order quantity is basically the optimal order quantity that enables a firm to minimize its ordering cost and carrying cost. So in order to derive our economic order quantity, we will take into consideration carrying costs and ordering cost, and the total cost of inventory, as mentioned earlier, is inventory cost, inventory carrying cost plus inventory ordering cost. When we look at carrying cost is nothing but the average inventory carried by the firm into carrying cost, that is the cost incurred for carrying this inventory. So average inventory will be Q by 2. Q is nothing but the quantity that is placed, the quantity at which the order is placed is what Q denotes, and C is the cost that is incurred in order to carry this quantity. And ordering cost, we take into consideration the total demand divided by the order quantity into fixed cost per order. So the amount of cost that the manufacturing firm will incur every time it places an order is the fixed cost per order. So this total demand divided by order quantity is nothing but the number of orders that the firm is having to place in order to meet its demand at the manufacturing firm. So according to a theory, it is said that ordering cost and carrying costs are minimum when they're equal to each other. So now we're equating the ordering cost and carrying cost, and by a simple mathematical calculation, we arrive at the economic order quantity, which is nothing but the root of 2 into fixed cost per order into the total demand divided by the carrying cost. So graphically represented, we take quantity on the x-axis and cost on the y-axis. And as we see, the holding cost will increase as the quantity ordered increases. And the ordering cost will tend to be high when the quantity ordered is less, and will tend to decrease as the quantity ordered increases. And we have the total cost. Total cost will initially be very high, and then it'll start decreasing up to a point, and then again it'll start increasing. So our economic order quantity is derived at a point where the total cost is minimum. So the point at which the total cost is minimum is the point where the economic order quantity is derived.